Hi everyone, welcome to the webinar and workshop series conducted by TCS in lieu of the upcoming CIMA management case study examinations happening in November 2024. My name is Nick and I'm one of the lead tutors and evaluators for MCS at TCS. So let's look at the session outcomes. First things first, I will highlight what you need to get right when it comes to Preseen application. As a finance manager, you have to be conversant with what happens within your organization, and on top of that you have to be aware of what happens within your industry. So when developing your answers, you need to make sure that your evaluations or your recommendations are totally aligned with the internal and external dynamics of your chosen company. So with that in mind, I will give you certain tips pertinent to how to get your Preseen application right. And in the second part of tonight's webinar, I will be conducting an industry analysis, primarily focusing your attention towards real life industry dynamics, thereby highlighting how real life companies operate within your chosen industry. And in the last part of tonight's webinar, I will be conducting a pre-scene analysis. Mind you, our pre-scene analysis sessions consist of 4 videos in total. However, given the time constraints, I'm only highlighting the first part of the pre-scene analysis session, where thereby taking you through the internal dynamics of your chosen company. You can gain access to all 4 pre-scene analysis videos under the paid content. All right, so before we get into the nitty-gritties, let me quickly remind you about the free MCS webinars and workshops which we have scheduled for you. The third MCS webinar is happening on Saturday, the 5th of October, where I will be teaching you answering and time management technique. Out of the 4 webinars, the third one is the most important, because if you are clueless about how to develop answers appropriately, how to structure answers appropriately, and on top of that, if you are clueless about how to manage your time, then you cannot pass this exam. So all these elements will be covered in the upcoming webinar, which is happening next Saturday. And after teaching you answering and time management technique, I will also take you through one of the mock exams which we have developed for you, thereby explaining how to implement answering and time management techniques in a practical manner. And when attempting the 6 mock exams, you are supposed to keep practicing these answering and time management techniques to ensure a pass at your real examination. And in the fourth webinar, exam prep, I will be taking you through examiners' comments, because it's of utmost importance that you understand what's expected from you and you listen to what the examiner has to tell you. And at the same webinar, I will also highlight how you can improve your confidence, because if you believe in your skill set, you stand a chance to pass the MCS exam comfortably. And on top of that, in the same webinar, I will also mention what you need to do to manage exam stress, especially when it comes to attempting mock exams. Because if you're conversant of how and what you need to do to manage exam stress when conducting your preparations, then you will easily manage exam stress at your real exam. And the workshops, which will be conducted by Jared, our co-tutor for MCS, via these workshops, on a weekly basis, Jared will take you through questions pertaining to E2, F2, and P2 syllabi, so that you gain a good understanding about how each syllabus area is tested at your MCS exam. And on top of that, via these workshops, Jared will be ready to face questions from you, because by the time you are attending the workshops, you should be, according to our study plan, you should be done with at least 1 or 2 mock exams. So after completing 1 or 2 mocks, you will definitely have questions. So you have the opportunity of getting in touch with a tutor on a weekly basis, so that you find answers to your questions. And on top of that, you have the chance of keeping tabs about whether you are proceeding with your with our study system in the most effective manner. And the final workshop, which happens 2 or 3 days before the exam, I will be sharing last minute tips with you to make sure that you walk into your exam with a positive mindset, and that you are confident about your skill set. If so, you will pass the MCS exam comfortably. All right, so let's look at pre-scene application. What should be the right approach? First things first, in order to get your pre-scene application right, you need to know your key information, such as the fact that Shinyglas is the largest manufacturer of double glazed windows and doors in Templand. As you know, you should have gone through the Preseen document since it was released at about 9:30 UK time. So this time's Preseen is based on a company which is known as Shinyglas, which is a manufacturer of double glazed windows and doors, and we are based in Templand. So likewise, you need to be conversant about the most important points highlighted within the Preseen. So this is not easy because your Preseen document goes on for something like 25 to 30 pages. So you cannot remember all the points which are mentioned within the Preseen document. So in order to make your life easy, we've developed a mind map covering the entire Preseen. So I said via the WhatsApp group, I said that if you attend today's webinar, I will be rewarding you. So this is the reward I was talking about. I will be sharing this mind map after we are done with this webinar via the WhatsApp group, and on a daily basis until your exam, go through this mind map and keep revising or reminding yourself about the most important points which appears within the Preseen. If so, you can fulfill the first task. You need not come up with your own mind maps and whatnot. We have done it for you. And you have to always be conversant with what appears within the financial statements. So you need to remember the key ratios, because as a finance manager, your main role is to provide finance related leadership. So at the very end of your Preseen document, you would have seen the financial statements of Shinyglas, your own company, and its closest competitor. So you have to be conversant about what appears within these financial statements, because when evaluating certain situations faced by the company, or when providing recommendations, you have to make sure that they make financial sense and your recommendations or evaluations are aligned with the financial situation of the company. Again, you need not work out ratios on your own. We have done it for you. So these are the financial analysis slides which we prepared for a previous case study. As you can see, we have evaluated each financial statement in depth. You can see that we have evaluated the SOPL, or the statement of profit and loss. And whilst evaluating each element, we have kept things simple so that you can easily understand what appears within your relevant financial statement. The same could be said about the SOFP. And at the very end, we have conducted a ratio analysis considering your chosen company and its closest competitor. Again, we have kept things simple so that you are in a position to easily understand what appears within the financial statement. So the second part is done. You need not do anything. We have done it for you. And at the exam, you are supposed to prepare for possible scenarios, but be open-minded. So we have developed 6 mock exams, and via these mock exams, we have covered the entire syllabus. We have covered all concepts and theories covered under E2, P2, and F2 syllabi. We have made sure to cover the entire syllabus with the intention of ensuring that you are conversant with how each syllabus area is tested at the exam. And on top of that, we have also provided a set of slides highlighting the top 10 issues which will be tested at your exam, or the type of scenarios which can be thrown at you at your exam. However, so you can be conversant about the scenarios which can be tested, and on top of that, how each syllabus area is tested by going through our study material and the 6 mock exams. However, the CIMA examiner is trying to replicate a real-life corporate environment. In a real-life corporate environment, it's as if you are walking into office and checking your email, and as part of the scenario, some type of an opportunity that the company is trying to exploit, or some type of an issue faced by the company will be highlighted. And considering the information presented in the scenario, you have to develop your answers. You are not supposed to provide highly theoretical answers. For instance, if there is a question about business risks, then you have to consider the information presented in the scenario when suggesting mitigatory action with the intention of overcoming business risks. You cannot memorize anything. So just because you try to memorize the answers, you won't pass the exam. Instead, your approach should be to be open-minded, because in a real-life corporate environment, you cannot predict the type of issues the company is going to face or the type of opportunities the board members are trying to exploit. And always remember that the scenario presented in the exam carries the latest information. So if you had gone through the Preseen document, you'd understand what I'm talking about. Via the Preseen, the examiner gives you an indication about what has happened within the past, considering the internal and external dynamics of Shinyglas. The examiner gives you an indication about past financial statements. However, at the exam, you will be presented with current information. So you have to be conversant with the past or the history of the organization and what has happened within the industry. However, when developing your answers, you have to always make sure that you consider the information presented in the scenario. If not, you will not pass this exam. So whenever you are bringing in information from the Preseen, you should not blindly do it. Instead, you have to solely focus on the scenario or the information presented in each scenario at your exam. You'd gain a better understanding about all these elements and how to get them right if you attend the next webinar, which is happening next Saturday. However, at this point, remember, when developing your answers, you need to consider the information presented in each scenario. And on top of that, with the intention of adding value to your answer, you can bring in information from the Preseen. So when doing this, you are supposed to refer or cite Preseen information in such a way that it adds value to your answer. So there's absolutely no point of blindly bringing in information from the Preseen which is not relevant to the scenario or the requirement at hand. For instance, when marking students' answer scripts, I've seen this. Some students think that they can gain marks simply by mentioning what appears within the Preseen document, which is not the case. For instance, if there's a question about managing conflicts, and if you mention the fact that we are driving sales through our salespeople who are not full-time employees, it is not relevant to the requirement. And in a real life, the examiner is trying to replicate a real life corporate environment. So it's as if you are responding to an email which you have received from one of the senior managers of your company. So your senior managers are already aware that we drive sales via salespeople who are not our employees. So there's absolutely no point of mentioning this point just because it appears within the Preseen. So there's absolutely no point of trying to overload your answers with Preseen information unnecessarily. Instead, you have to rely on the information presented in each scenario. And if you want to bring in information from the Preseen, you should do so with the prime intention of improving the quality of your answers. All right. Someone's mic is on. I'm going to mute it. All right. Superb. I hope you'd keep your mics on mute until we arrive at the Q&A session. Okay, so you'd gain a better understanding about all these elements and how to get Preseen citations right by attending the third webinar, Answering Technique. And you'd also gain a good understanding about how to get all these elements right by referring to the suggested answers and answer plans of the 6 mocks which we have developed. And via the master classes, we will be teaching application skills, and whilst teaching you application, we will be covering Preseen application elements as well. So that's how you are supposed to refer to Preseen info when developing your answers. And how should you tackle E2, P2, and F2 syllabi? You should prepare for application of theories and concepts, because any syllabus element can be tested at your exam. I've seen tutors out there saying that we can leave out certain parts of the management level syllabus content, which is not true. As per the CIMA examiner, if you had gone through exam blueprints, if you had done the MCS exam previously, you know what I'm talking about. Any element or concept which is highlighted under E2, F2, and P2 syllabi can be tested at your exam. That's exactly why we have made sure to cover all syllabus areas within our 6 mock exams. And at the exam, you should prepare for interpretation of figures or numbers. You're not expected to carry out major calculations. For instance, if there's a question about funding options, then you might have to rework or calculate a fresh gearing ratio Other than that, you are not expected to do major calculations. There will be minor calculations such as reworking a gearing ratio. Other than that, all the other numbers, facts and figures will be presented as part of reference material. So your role as a finance manager is to evaluate, conduct your evaluations or provide your recommendations considering the information presented to you, because that's exactly what happens within a real life corporate environment. You will never see in this day and age a finance manager doing calculations. Instead, there's so many systems out there. All the necessary information will be fed to the finance manager, and considering the presented information, the finance manager should carry out his or her job role. So that's exactly what you need to achieve at your real exam. And when conducting your preparations, do not skip any topic. So I've seen students trying to pass the MCS exam simply by attempting one or two mock exams. You cannot pass the MCS exam if you try to do so, because you have to be conversant with how each syllabus area is tested at your exam. That's why we are asking you to attempt 6 mock exams. If not, you do not stand a chance to cover the entire syllabus when attempting mock exams. And do not rely on predictions, as any area can be examined. So don't think that you can memorize answers. Instead, when after attempting a mock exam, you are supposed to redevelop answer plans and go through suggested answers. I highlighted these things in the first webinar when I was explaining the study plan. If you missed out on it, please go watch the recorded version, then you'd know what I'm talking about. So when conducting your revision, when going through the answers after attempting each mock exam, your objective should be to understand the logic behind each answer rather than trying to memorize the content of each and every answer. Because you can memorize answers and or memorize answer structures and pass the OCS exam. That's not the case at the MCS level, because 50% of weightage is provided for theoretical elements and 50% of weightage is provided for practical decision making. So you cannot memorize anything. Instead, try to get the logic of each answer and apply the same logic considering the information presented at your exam. Okay, so before we move on to the industry and Preseen analysis, let me quickly tell you what we offer at TCS. So I'm on the MCS page. Click on this button and create a free user account. And via this free account, you'd gain access to the recorded versions of the webinars and workshops which we conduct on a weekly basis. And on top of that, you will gain access to the mind map, the Preseen mind map, which I showed you a while back. And on top of that, you'd also gain access to the free mock exam, its suggested answer, and the answer plan. You also have the option of attempting the free mock exam under exam conditions via our exam platform. We have developed an exam platform which is a replica of the Pearson VUE system on which you attempt your real exam. So you can attempt the free mock exam under real exam conditions if you create a free user account by clicking this button. And if you are interested in investing on paid content, check the sample material before you do so. And if you are yet to join our MCS WhatsApp group, click on this button and join it. Via this group, we will keep you informed about the weekly webinars and workshops. And on top of that, if you have any questions, you can raise your concerns and engage in group learning. Myself and Jared will always be there to guide you with your questions and queries. And we will also share a lot of free resources via this WhatsApp group. So if you're yet to join it, please click on this button and join our WhatsApp group. So talking about what we offer 2 main packages. The value pack is designed for students who have completed their OTQs. So since you have already completed your OTQs, you have already learned your E2, F2, and P2 syllabus content. So since you have learned theory, you simply need to work on improving your application skills. So focused on these type of students who are coming through the CIMA general route, we are giving access to the recordings of all weekly webinars and workshops we conduct. You will gain access to 6 mock exams with suggested answers. So on top of the free mock exam, you will gain access to 5 additional mock exams. And as I mentioned earlier, we have made sure to cover the entire syllabus when developing these 6 mock exams. You will also gain access to 4 pre-scene analysis videos. You'd gain an understanding about how we conduct our pre-scene analysis videos in a little while when I'm taking you through the pre-scene document. And you'd also gain access to something called an annotated pre-scene. You'd see what this document looks like in a little while, because when conducting tonight's pre-scene analysis, I will be referring to the annotated pre-scene which we have developed. You'd also gain access to industry and financial analysis slides. You saw the content of our financial analysis slides a while back, and you will see when I'm conducting the industry analysis, I will be utilizing the industry analysis slides which we have developed, which makes your life easy when it comes to understanding what happens within your chosen industry. You'd also gain access to top 10 likely issue slides. Again, you'd see what these slides look like in a little while. After I'm done with the pre-scene analysis, I will talk about the most prominent or most probable elements or scenarios which can be tested at your exam based on these top 10 likely issue slides. You'd also gain access to the case study familiarization kit. So if you read through this document within 10 to 15 minutes, you'd gain an in-depth understanding about the technicalities behind your MCS exam. You'd also gain access to a tutor-managed live chat and OTQ revision cards. So after attempting each mock exam, if you feel that you cannot remember a certain theoretical concept clearly, or if you feel that you need to brush up your knowledge concerning a certain syllabus area, simply refer to our OTQ revision cards to brush up your knowledge in a jiffy. So the value pack is priced at £249. And moving on to the premium package, this is designed for students who are coming through the exemption routes, as well as those who had failed the MCS exam previously. So both these sets of students have the same type of problem. Both these sets of students have gaps in theoretical knowledge, and they have issues with application, especially concerning the theories covered under P2 and F2 syllabi. So if you are a student coming through the exemption route, or if you had failed the MCS exam previously, simply go for the premium package. The premium package comes with everything, all study material covered under the value pack. In addition to that, you'd gain access to the online mock exam platform via which you can attempt all 6 mock exams under exam conditions, thereby getting exposed to exam stress. It's best that you are getting exposed to exam stress when attempting the mock exams rather than at your real exam, because when you are exposed to exam stress when conducting your preparations, you will know what to do to overcome exam stress. If so, you will be extremely successful at your real exam. And when you are attempting exams under real conditions, you will gain a good understanding about the technicalities behind the exam platform, because it's not too easy it takes a bit of time to get your bearings with the exam platform. That's exactly why we have developed a similar exam platform. You'd see what our exam platform looks like in our next webinar, because when explaining answering and time management techniques, I will take you through the exam platform. So make use of all these resources which we offer. And on top of that, you'd receive one-on-one tutor feedback on the last 3 mock exams out of the 6 mocks. You'd gain tutor feedback focused on the last 3 mocks. As you can see, each and every paragraph has been evaluated, and with the intention of ensuring that you understand your shortcomings, because if you understand your shortcomings, you stand a chance of getting rid of these shortcomings when conducting your preparations. If so, you will pass the MCS exam comfortably. So you can see the type of feedback which we provide at TCS. And at the very end of the answer script, we provide mark allocations on a subtask by subtask basis. We have also indicated a success rate. So after receiving tutor feedback, your job is to redevelop the answer plan. When redeveloping the answer plan, you should only focus on the subtasks which are highlighted in yellow, because these are the subtasks in which your performance was substandard. So focusing on your shortcomings, you are supposed to conduct your revision. And once you redevelop answer plans, you are further improving your knowledge with regards to how to structure your answers. And this is the best type of revision you should engage with when conducting your preparations. And on top of that, via the premium package, you'd also gain access to the answer plans of all 6 mock exams. So this is what a typical answer plan looks like. If you had done the MCS exam or any CIMA case study examination previously, and if you had purchased from some other study provider, you would have gotten access to the mock exams and suggested answers. However, we have gone a step further. We are providing answer structures to ensure that you stand a chance to understand the logic behind each answer easily. You stand a chance to understand how to structure answers, how to bring in theoretical knowledge, and what type of Preseen information should be brought in when developing answers. So this makes your life easy when it comes to conducting revision and when it comes to redeveloping answer plans, because in a jiffy, you can go through all these points and understand how to structure your answers. So we provide answer plans for all 6 mock exams. You will also gain access to 20 master classes. The objective of developing these master classes is to teach you the logic behind each answer covered within our mock exams. And on top of that, we will be teaching the relevant theoretical concept. So in a short period of time, you stand a chance to understand or learn theory, and at the same time, significantly improve your application skills. And once you have access to all this content, you can pass for sure, hence the pass guarantee. So if you invest on the premium package and fail the exam, you will gain access to the premium package in your subsequent sitting free of charge. However, in order to claim the pass guarantee, you need to complete these 3 requirements. You have to complete all 6 mock exams. If not, you are testing your luck at the exam, at your real exam. So in order to make sure that you are conversant with how each syllabus element is tested at your exam, you have to complete all 6 mock exams. And when attempting each mock exam, you are not supposed to go through the suggested answers, the answer plans, or master classes. Instead, try to do it on your own. Then you stand a chance to understand your shortcomings. And as I mentioned earlier, if you understand your shortcomings, then you are poised to take the necessary steps to overcome these shortcomings. So your solutions need to be original, and you have to meet the performance criteria focused on the last 3 mock exams. You need to score 40% or higher. Why have we come up with this performance criteria? To make sure that you do a serious job when attempting the last 3 mocks, especially given the fact that you are receiving tutor feedback for them. So once you have completed these 3 requirements, there's absolutely no way you'd fail the MCS exam. That's why we are providing a pass guarantee for the premium package. The premium package is priced at £799, which can be paid in 2 installments of £399 each, or you can opt to pay in full and benefit from a discount of £100. If so, the price of the package is just £699. So all products are available until the 28th of February 2025. So if you're planning on sitting for MCS exams in Feb, you can start now itself, so that you have enough and more time to attempt all 6 mocks under a relaxed atmosphere. So invest on your preferred package and start your preparations. So let's quickly have a glimpse at the MCS study plan and try to understand what you are supposed to achieve in the upcoming week. So we are in week number 2, and you are supposed to allocate 8 hours of study time in the upcoming week. You have attended the second webinar, so kudos to you. Within this week, you are supposed to watch the Preseen analysis videos, 4 videos in total. This will ensure that you gain an in-depth understanding about what's covered within the Preseen. You would have a good understanding. Then after watching these videos, you would gain a good understanding about your chosen company, what happens within your chosen company, what appears within its financial statements, and what happens within your industry. And after watching these 4 Preseen analysis videos, you are supposed to refer to the annotated Preseen on your own, thereby conducting your revision, and refer to the industry and financial analysis slides on your own once more. And once you're done with week number 2, you'd be conversant with what appears within your Preseen document. And after gaining an understanding about your company, its industry, and its financial performance, in week number 3, you are supposed to start attempting mock exams. So don't focus on mock exams right now, because at the 3rd webinar, which is happening next Saturday, I will be teaching you answering and time management techniques. So wait until the webinar. After learning these techniques, put them into practice when attempting the weekly mock exam. So within this week, simply focus on the Preseen document. Okay, so having said that, let's move on to the industry and Preseen analysis session. First things first, let's try to understand what your industry is all about. So our industry analysis slides consist of 4 main elements. I'm not going to take you through the entire set of slides given the time constraint. So I'm only going to focus your attention towards the industry overview and the trends, because when you understand the trends, you can predict the type of scenarios which can be tested at your real exam. So these times, MCS case study is based on a company which is known as Shinyglas, and it is operating within the double glazed window and door manufacturing market. So that is what this time's case study is all about. We are in the double glazed window and door manufacturing market. And when you look at manufacturing windows and doors, we are primarily concerned about manufacturing windows. We do manufacture doors. However, our prime concern is towards manufacturing double glazed windows. So what are double glazed windows? These are the type of windows which have 2 panes of glass with a sealed space between them, and the sealed space is filled with air or gas. What am I talking about? So let me quickly show you the first slide of our webinar. So as you can see, there are 2 panes of glass which is mounted on a frame, and this frame is manufactured using UPVC. Some players use wood, and on top of that, some players use aluminium as well. If you look at what our company Shinyglas is up to, we use UPVC and aluminium frames. So there's an UPVC, aluminium or wooden frame, and within this frame, the 2 glass panels are mounted, and there is a space between these 2 glass panels which is filled with air. Okay, so the double glazed windows have 2 panes of glass or panels of glass with a sealed space between them filled with air or gas. And these double glass windows, relative to single glazed windows, these double glazed windows are popular due to heat retention within buildings, because especially during winter or cold time periods, people spend a lot of money to heat their premises. So if you invest on double glazing or double glazed windows and doors, you can retain heat within buildings, which will lead to lesser heating costs. And on top of that, it's environmental friendly because it leads to lower amount of carbon emissions, because when you are spending lower amount of energy to heat your house or your business premises, then it leads to a lower amount of carbon emissions. And double glazed windows relative to single glazed windows are robust and safer because there are 2 panels of glass. So because of that, it's not too easy to break, and it acts as an effective sound barrier as well, because there's a void between the 2 panes of glass. So because of that, sound rarely travels through these 2 panes of glass, which carries a void right in the middle. So these are the benefits on offer to our consumers if they opt to invest on double glazed windows and doors. And looking at the market segments, within this market, there are several different players. So this is not an industry which is dominated by one single player. Instead, there are several different players, which all these players should work hand in hand to provide the necessary level of services to customers. So there are the main players are the window and door fabricators, or in other terms, these are the manufacturers of double glazed windows and doors, and these are the makers of ready to install doors or windows. So when manufacturing these doors or windows, the players within this market, they either provide a standardized product or they offer bespoke services in accordance to the needs of customers. And if you look at what our company Shinyglas is up to, we are a fabricator of double glazed windows and doors. So we fall within this market segment where we manufacture doors and windows which are ready to install. It could be standardized windows or doors, or it could be bespoke windows or doors. And there are another set of players within this industry, which are known as sealed unit manufacturers, a set of suppliers. So these are the individuals who supply the double glazed glasses. So the double glazed glasses come as a unit. What we do as a fabricator is we purchase the frame, we cut up the frame according to the required dimensions, and we fix the sealed unit right in the middle, and we fix up the entire window or door and sell it to our customers. So we have to deal with these suppliers, third parties within this industry, in order to make sure that we provide the necessary services to customers. And installers play a major role as well. These are the subcontractors who carry out installation. Although we are manufacturing double glazed windows and doors, we are not involved with installation. Installation is carried out by third parties. So we have to work hand in hand with these individuals to make sure we provide the necessary level of customer satisfaction. And there are another set of players within this industry who are the repairers. So these windows and doors will be used for a long period of time. And when this is the case, customers might face some issues due to defective installation, or due to defective sealed units, or due to defective frames or whatnot. So in such a scenario, repairers come into play. These are specialist service providers who would repair or maintain these double glazed windows and doors. So we fall under the window and door fabricator market, and there are another set of players who are crucial when it comes to satisfying the needs of customers. Then let's look at the industry trends. There's a lot of attention provided towards achieving energy efficiency and sustainability, especially given the fact that in Europe, governments had passed regulations which to ensure that when providing double glazing, it's carried out in a safe manner to ensure the safety of customers. And on top of that, the double glazing industry is primarily focused on reducing carbon emissions. So this industry is primarily focused on achieving sustainability, or helping its customers achieve the required level of sustainability and energy efficiency. And there's a new trend within this industry, which is about smart glasses and connected homes. As you know, there's a growing interest for smart homes. So with that, smart glasses had been the players within this industry had introduced smart glasses as well, which carries self-cleaning technology, as well as which provides automated shading to the users. And there's a demand for acoustic insulation as well. So there's a lot of soundproofing happening within this industry, as I mentioned earlier, especially when providing services to clients who are living in urban areas. Urban areas are noisy, and in order to cut out this noise, customers opt for double glazed windows and doors. And there's a lot of customization happening, especially focused on aesthetics. Customers are not only looking at reducing their carbon emissions by going for double glazing. Customers are not only looking at reducing their energy bills, they are also looking at how it looks and feels on their houses. So aesthetics are given a high level of prominence in this day and age. So because of that, frames come in different colors, different designs and whatnot. And in many occasions, when dealing with B2C clients, when fixing doors and windows within households, there's a lot of customization made available by players within this industry. And there's digital transformation and e-commerce affecting this industry, especially when dealing with B2C clients. So in the good olden days, when trying to convince a customer to go for double glazing, a salesperson does a sales visit, shows certain windows and doors to the customer with the intention of convincing him or her. Your sales depend on sales visits. However, in this day and age, via the websites, players within this industry are moving into virtual showrooms where customers can easily see the type of services we offer, how it looks on their house and whatnot. So there are 3D configuration tools used as well. So that's what happens with regards to digitalization between us and households or B2C clients. And on top of that, players within this industry deal with B2B relationships as well. They sell their double glazed windows and doors to um, B2B players such as construction firms. So when dealing with these construction firms, you need to be aligned with their project timelines and the way in which they manage their construction projects. So with this in mind, there's a lot of networking happening between the players within this industry and construction firms, because we ourselves have to deal with a set of suppliers to provide our services. And on top of that, construction firms will also work with a lot of suppliers. So it's best that all these suppliers and players are connected via a single system when managing projects. So this type of digital transformation can be seen within this industry. And there's rising interest for sustainable material, especially there's a huge demand for the way in which the glass is made, because glass is made by melting sand, which takes up a lot of energy. So rather than sticking to the traditional processes, customers, especially younger customers, are asking for a sustainable means of developing glasses. And on top of that, customers are opting for sustainable windows, which are made out of sustainable material, such as the frames used used to manufacture these windows. Customers like it when sustainable material are utilized. So I hope you gained a good understanding about what this industry is all about, and what different types of players are doing within this industry. So having said that, let's move on to understand the internal dynamics of your chosen company, Shinyglas. So Shinyglas was founded in 1962. So we have been in operation for over 6 decades, which is good for our reputation. Customers will trust us when we had been in operation for a long period of time, and we focus on product quality and customer service. This is highlighted within our business model as well. At the very end, towards the very end of your Preseen, you would have seen the business model of our company. And the way in which we define value is primarily focused on offering high quality products and good customer service. Why should we focus on providing customer service? Especially given the fact that we are selling a product which is used for more than 10 years. And when a customer is using our product for a long time period, there is room for errors, there is room for issues which the customers might face. So in order to fix these issues, and in order to make sure that we maintain the same level of loyalty with customers, we have to provide customer service. So that's exactly why our company is focused on providing extensive levels of product quality and customer service. And we are ranked best in the market for providing value for money, although our prices are more expensive than that of competitors. So what is value for money? Value for money is a situation where a player within the industry is providing a quality product, however, at a lesser price or charging a lesser price. How can a player within the industry provide a quality product and charge a lesser price? That is achieved by getting rid of non-value adding activities. Because when you get rid of non-value adding activities, you are achieving two main things. Number one, you are getting rid of unnecessary costs. So the benefit of this cost reduction can be passed down to our end customers via reduced prices. And number two is, by getting rid of non-value adding activities, you are improving the quality of the way in which we manufacture our windows and doors. So we are in a position to improve quality and at the same time charge a lower price, hence achieving value, or hence providing value for money to our clients. So although we are providing value for money by operating in an appropriate or efficient manner, our prices are a bit higher than that of competitors. That is quite normal, because our quality is better than that of our competitors, and we have been in operation longer than our competitors. So that's why we are charging a price which is a bit higher than competitors. However, we are offering value for money as a business. And we are engaged with effective advertising since inception. And we rely on traditional advertising means, or traditional media. I will talk about these elements in a little while. And there's a strong brand awareness because we spend a lot of money on advertising, and we are engaged with new product development since inception. That's exactly why we have been profitable for the past 60 odd years. We spend a lot of money on product development. We have a separate department within our organization which consists of a set of engineers who are involved with developing new products. So definitely IAS 38 intangible assets will be tested at your exam. And we are known for innovation. We are known as an innovative company. That's why we spend a lot of money on product development. And demand for our products stagnated in the 2000s. However, we were able to achieve a leap in sales, especially given the fact that we diverted our stance from dealing with B2C clients to B2B clients. Thereby, we started supplying to construction firms. So this shows that we are headed in the correct direction. Whenever sales stagnate, we find a new way of generating revenue, which indicates that our board members are doing their job appropriately. And looking at the market in which we operate, we are operating in a country which is known as Templand, which is a developed economy. And it's good for us when we are operating in a developed economy. It provides us with opportunities. And most people within this economy own homes, which is good for us. Because if more and more people are building homes, it will drive demand for our products. And temperatures within this country vary significantly, again, which is good for us, because during colder time periods, customers will always think about going for double glazed windows and doors. And windows and doors must comply with government rules relating to safety. I highlighted this point when conducting the industry analysis. There's a lot of rules and regulations concerning this industry, so we have to fall in line. If not, we might have to face legal issues. So in an overall sense, we are operating in a favorable market, which is good for us, which will ensure sustained profits in the future. And we are dealing with several builders or construction firms who buy windows and exterior doors from us, which indicates the type of B2B relationships we have with different players within the industry. Then let's have a look at how we conduct our manufacturing. So when it comes to manufacturing, we rely on external suppliers when it comes to sourcing 3 different raw materials or components. So we purchase UPVC and aluminium to make frames, as I mentioned earlier. In order to manufacture these, double glazed windows, we need to purchase sealed units from third parties or from third party suppliers. We need to purchase the frames. We, as a company, are into UPVC and aluminium frames. We do not manufacture windows which carry a wooden frame. So we have to purchase these UPVC and aluminium bars from an external party. And on top of that, we also rely on purchasing fittings from external parties, such as brackets, hinges, and locks, which are needed to fix all these different units together and develop the finished or final product. So when it comes to carrying out our manufacturing operations, we rely on 100% in-house operations. We make the frames within our own factory, which is based in Templand. So what we do is we purchase the frames, aluminium and UPVC frames from third parties. We cut it up within our manufacturing facility and fix the sealed units which are sourced from a third party and fix up the finished product. So the finished doors and windows are sold pre-assembled and ready to install, which makes life easy when dealing with different players. So after we are done with our window, installers come into play. They have to go and install our windows and doors which we have manufactured. And Shinyglas recommends UPVC frames for homes and aluminium for commercial, because when you consider commercial properties, it will carry large displays which are heavy. So in order to hold heavy displays or heavy windows or doors, you need an aluminium frame. However, in a household, that is not the case. You'd see smaller set of windows and doors. That's exactly why we are recommending UPVC frames to household consumers. So focused on the information presented, we can predict the type of syllabus areas which can be tested. Since we are dealing with a lot of stakeholders and On top of that, since we are into manufacturing, definitely your knowledge pertaining to business risks will be tested at the exam. So considering the information presented in each scenario, you are expected to identify risks. That's the first step. And the second step is to come up with mitigatory action to manage each type of risk. So all these elements which are covered under your P2 syllabus will be tested in the exam, and your knowledge pertaining to stress testing, especially the way in which we stress test our financial plans or budgets, will be tested at your exam, because whenever we are exposed to business risks, we need to see whether we are financially stable enough to handle these risks in a successful manner. Hence, your knowledge pertaining to stress testing, especially budget stress testing, will be tested at the exam. And we are dealing with a lot of stakeholders, so we have to make sure that we manage our value chain in the most successful manner. I said that we are well known for providing value for money. So if we are to provide value for money in the future, we have to, on a constant basis, try to get rid of non-value adding activities. So in order to do this in a successful manner, we need to utilize the concept which is known as value chain analysis. So this will be tested at your exam. And if we are to be successful in the future, we should not only look at our financial performance, we have to look at non-financial performance elements such as customer satisfaction, such as whether we handle our internal dynamics in the most efficient manner, and whether we are spending money or effort on innovation. If so, we will be future ready as a company. So if we handle these non-financial elements, we are poised to achieve financial success in the long term. So your knowledge pertaining to the balanced scorecard will also be tested. You need not worry. All these elements are covered within our mock exams. Then moving on, let's try to understand how we market our products. Then let's move on to sales. So when it comes to marketing, we rely on traditional media. We conduct marketing via our website. So we provide all product information whenever we develop a new product, or we come up with a new product offering. We update our website, and customers have the capability of getting in touch with us via our website. And on top of that, we rely on TV and newspaper adverts. That's exactly why we are spending a lot of money on marketing, because TV ads and newspaper ads are expensive. And we rely on customer referrals as well, where we provide discounts whenever an existing customer brings a new customer to us. So all in all, we rely on traditional methods of advertising. And as per what's highlighted within this Preseen, there's no indication of digital marketing. So it's highly likely that there will be a scenario at your exam which tests your understanding about digital marketing initiatives and how it will benefit our company, and how such initiatives will impact our internal dynamics. So use of digital tools such as business intelligence or big data analytics for marketing will be tested at the exam. And looking at the way in which we conduct our sales operations, we primarily rely on salespeople. So the salespeople are self-employed, and they are not employees of our own company. So we are relying on self-employed individuals, 550 salespeople in total, to push sales or push our products across to customers. So the advantage of relying on self-employed salespeople to drive sales is the fact that we can easily hire and fire them. However, the disadvantage is the fact that it's risky to depend on external staff, and we don't have direct control over these individuals, and they represent our brand when getting in touch with a customer. And if they do something wrong, it will impact our reputation in a negative manner. So this is a risky thing to do. However, that's how we had operated for the past 60 odd years. And these salespeople, when we recruit them, we provide them with initial training, and every 6 months we provide them with training. So if we introduce a new product, we update our salespeople about the new product offering. And on top of that, if we can implement new sales tactics, again, these elements will be taught to our salespeople. So as part of their training initiatives, the salespeople are trained to measure the spaces and recommend doors and windows that meet customers' needs and safety. So they should have the capability to measure doors and windows and recommend solutions to customers which are aligned with the needs of customers and solutions which are safe. And we are paying these individuals a commission, and these commissions are substantially higher than the market. Our salespeople earn 50% higher than the national average. And the downside faced by these salespeople is one of the downsides faced by the salespeople is the fact that they have to visit in a radius to reach customers. They have to visit within a radius which comes up to 80 kilometers from their homes, and we are not reimbursing their travel costs. So let's assume you get you have to reach a customer who is 80 kilometers away, and you have to come back to your home. So all in all, you have to spend money on your traveling costs, which amounts to where you have to travel for 160 kilometers in total, and you're not getting reimbursed for these travel expenses. So that's a downside of downside or an issue faced by our salespeople. So there could be a possible exam scenario where our board is considering to recruit full-time salespeople because of issues faced when dealing with self-employed individuals and the type of risks we are exposed to. We might opt to, or our board might consider to opt for full-time employees. And if so, if such a scenario is thrown at you at your exam, your knowledge pertinent to managing people, which is highlighted within your E2 syllabus with regards to how to handle the HR cycle, how to handle recruitments, and how to motivate them, how to provide leadership, how to manage conflicts. All these elements can be tested at your exam. Again, we have covered these elements within our 6 mock exams. And we rely on an online diary system as well. So why do we use this diary system? To make sure that we are aware of when our salespeople, we are dealing with 550 salespeople, so it's not easy to manage their schedules. So all their available time slots are fed into this online diary system so that we can easily allocate sales inquiries to relevant salespeople. So regional managers, there are a set of regional managers who are full-time employees. I'm going to talk about regional managers in a little while. So these regional managers who are full-time employees of our company are involved with the process of allocating sales leads to salespeople via this online diary system. So how this works is, let's assume that I am a salesperson. I'm free tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So I would log into the online diary and indicate that I'm free from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And a regional sales manager, if a sales lead comes in the way of the regional sales manager, he or she will allocate based on the amount or the type of salespeople who are available to visit these customers. And call center staff can also access this diary to make appointments. Why? Because as I mentioned earlier, customers have the option of getting through to us via our website. So if there is an inquiry, the call center staff member will send that inquiry to the regional manager, and the regional manager in return will allocate a certain salesperson to go visit this customer. So that's why call center staff should have access to this online diary system as well. And when it comes to sales visits, customers usually prefer weekends because that's when they are at home, or towards the evenings on weekdays. Okay, then let's look at the sales approach adopted by our company. As I mentioned earlier, we deal via salespeople, and we provide a price list to each salesperson indicating the type of products we offer and the different prices. And the salesperson, when visiting a customer, is supposed to determine the order size and or consider the order size and the customer's budget when quoting a price. So we do not have a standardized pricing system. We do have a price list. However, recommending a price or suggesting a price is at the discretion of the salesperson who is visiting the customer. So when suggesting the price, the salesperson is supposed to consider the price list, the order size, and the budget of each and every client. because if you do not fall within the budget of the client, then the client will not purchase from us. So that's why we have given some leeway, or we have provided discretion to our salespeople to determine a sales price. And salespeople usually encourage customers to spend more to benefit from quantity discounts. So we are in the business of providing quantity discounts. So if customers go for a larger quantity, then we offer our salesperson, our salespeople will offer quantity discounts. And salespeople try to persuade customers and seal a deal within the first visit itself. Why is this the case? Especially given the fact that your transportation costs are not reimbursed. So since you are spending some effort and time, you have to spend about 1 or 2 hours to convince a typical customer. And on top of that, you have to bear transportation costs. So because of that, most salespeople try to seal a deal within the first visit itself, which leads to aggressive sales tactics, which might work against our business and the way in which we conduct our business. It might be bad for our reputation when a salesperson is trying to seal a deal by engaging in aggressive sales tactics. And as I mentioned earlier, the salesperson, when determining the price of the products which we offer, are supposed to consider our price list, the order size, and the customer's budget. So with that in mind, we have given them the opportunity to offer discounts which can go up to 60%. So these type of significant discounts indicate that we are operating in a highly competitive environment. I've already done the videos pertaining to the 4 Preseen analysis sessions. So in the first one, I've conducted an industry analysis, and in that industry analysis, I've mentioned the type of competition within this industry. There are a lot of smaller players who are trying to offer significant discounts with the intention of undercutting large players like us. So that's exactly why we have given the option to our salespeople to offer significant discounts which come out to 60%. However, salespeople will never get a commission if the discounts exceed 45%. So salespeople always try to offer the lowest discount as possible, because if you offer a discount which is above 45%, you are not receiving a commission. And there is another issue with this sales approach, because every sale, including the discount, should be approved by the regional sales managers before the salesperson signs a contract with the customer. So this might lead to conflicts between regional sales managers as well as salespeople, because let's assume the salesperson promises a 30% discount. However, the regional sales manager says no to it and asks the salesperson to reduce the discount to 20%. So once you have promised something to customers, you can't go back on your word, especially when it comes to a discount. So you end up losing the sale. So this will result in conflicts. So definitely your knowledge pertaining to conflict management will be tested at your exam, which is covered in your E2 syllabus. Again, we have covered this element within one of our mock exams. So all these things will lead to high pressure sales tactics, which will result in alienating customers and damaging our reputation. So this looks fine, but it's not perfect. The way in which we conduct our sales comes with hiccups. So at your exam, as a finance manager, you are expected to evaluate these problems and provide solutions. You need not worry, because we have covered all these elements within our mock exams. And let's try to understand the type of windows we offer. We offer 3 different types of windows: windows with single glazed units, windows with 2 openings at the top, and windows with 2 openings at half the width. So you need not be really conversant with the product features and dimensions, because as a finance manager, you are involved with decision making. You are located at the middle level of the organization. You are not involved with operations of our business. And looking at the commission system, it's designed to discourage discounts. So lower the discount, higher the commission earned by our salespeople. And discounts need to be approved by regional sales managers, as I mentioned earlier. and the maximum commission salespeople can gain is 25%. And these commissions are payable when the customer agrees to pay in full. So once a customer signs a contract, 5% of the final amount should be paid to the salesperson. However, the salesperson will never get a commission until the deal is finalized and the customer pays in full. And no commission is paid for discounts which exceed 45%. So the issues pertaining to this commission system is the fact that different salespeople might offer different discounts, which results in a significant variation in product prices, which will lead to confusion and dissatisfaction when dealing with different types of clients, because different salespeople might quote different prices for the same product. So that's an issue at our disposal considering this commission system. And yeah, I covered this point earlier. And looking at the payment system, after the regional sales manager approves an order, customer pays 5% of the deposit to the salesperson, and the full payment due should be paid when installation is complete. And our company works with finance companies to arrange loan finance and help customers raise the necessary amount of money. Why is this the case? Because we are selling products which are used for more than 10 years. And we are in the business of providing home improvements. So although we are known as a value for money business, we are operating within an industry which is charging extremely high prices, or we are selling products which are extremely costly in the eyes of customers. So most customers will opt for loan financing, and we are offering convenience to customers by hooking our customers up with finance providers, and these finance companies in return pay us a commission, and we share part of this commission with our salespeople. So considering this information, your knowledge pertaining to IFRS 15 revenue from contracts with customers will definitely be tested at your exam. And this system has issues because with the intention of getting two commissions at the same time, salespeople will unnecessarily push people to opt for loan financing, which is unethical. And on top of that, which might work against our reputation and the way in which we conduct our operations. And looking at regional sales managers, all these individuals are based at our head office. And these are the individuals who allocate sales leads to salespeople. And when allocating sales leads, regional sales managers primarily focus on allocating sales leads to successful salespeople. So successful salespeople are given priority when allocating leads, and experienced salespeople are given leads to deal with large commercial sales, especially when dealing with B2B clients such as construction firms. And salespeople report directly to regional sales managers, and salespeople's performance is evaluated by these regional sales managers. And when evaluating the performance is evaluated based on the amount of sales generated by each salesperson, the amount of discounts offered. We discourage salespeople from providing discounts. So when measuring their performance, we try to make sure that we reward salespeople who offer the lowest discounts to customers. And on top of that, we also consider the percentage of sales visits which resulted in sales, which leads to aggressive sales tactics. That's exactly why, since we are measuring the performance of salespeople based on the number of visits, they will try to somehow seal a deal within the first visit itself. And we also consider the proportion of customers applying for a loan using our recommendations, especially given the fact that we are receiving a commission from these finance service providers. However, this leads to a situation where we are engaged with unethical practices, where we try to push these loans down the throats of our customers rather than thinking about the benefit of our customers. We are solely focusing our attention towards the financial rewards we can gain via the commissions paid by these finance providers. And let me quickly also talk about how we conduct, our installation related activities. So once the finished goods, once we are done with manufacturing double glazed windows and doors, they should be installed. And as I mentioned earlier, third parties come into play when it comes to carrying out installation related activities. So installation is carried out by 40 independent installation companies. We are dealing with a plethora of installers or installation companies, 40 in total. And when they are visiting a customer's premises to fix the doors and windows which we have manufactured, they should visit customers in vehicles which carry our logo, and their staff should be attired in our branded t-shirts. And the operations department allocate work to these 40 different independent installation companies, and the performance of these installers or installation companies are evaluated based on customer feedback. And if customers are happy with a certain company, more jobs are allocated to these type of companies, and these individuals are paid on a job by job basis. You will understand why we are paying our salespeople, as well as why we rely on third parties when it comes to driving sales and installation. You'd understand why we rely on third parties after you watch the third Preseen analysis video, where I've taken you through the business model of your chosen company. So looking at the installation process, the installer first visits and checks if a salesperson's measurements are accurate and the design complies with local regulation. If so, the installer will develop a report. If there are any issues, the installer will inform us about the changes which need to occur, and any redesigning costs due to salesperson's errors is deducted from their commissions. And the finalized design is sent to the operations department, and the operations department will send it to the factory so that we start manufacturing the double glazed windows and doors as per the requirements of our customers. And once the finished good is at our disposal, it will be sent to installers, and installers will carry out the installation. And when dealing with B2B clients, such as construction firms, we need not rely on installers because they will find their own installers. So there could be a scenario at your exam where the board is evaluating to recruit full-time installers. If so, your knowledge pertaining to managing people, which is covered in the under the E2 syllabus, will be tested. Again, we have covered this element within our 6 mock exams. All right, so that's that. And based on the information which I discussed right now, let me quickly tell you the top 10 issues or the most probable elements which can be tested at your exam. There could be a question where we are trying to acquire a third party. It could be an installation services provider. It could be a repairing company, or it could be one of the suppliers whom we deal with. It could be a supplier who is supplying us with frames or sealed units, or it could be with regards to acquisition of a competitor or an up-and-coming business. And there could be scenarios pertaining to us pursuing related diversification, such as fixing up or moving into the industry of fixing up windows which are smart, which carry smart technology, or fixing up windows which can be used as solar panels as well. So your knowledge pertaining to related diversification, if we go for such related diversification, how it impacts our internal dynamics, the type of risks which this type of diversification will expose us to, and on top of that, how it impacts our business model. All these elements will be tested at your exam. And since we are into manufacturing, and since we are dealing with a lot of stakeholders, there will definitely be questions about operational issues faced by us and people-related issues. We are dealing with a plethora of stakeholders, especially suppliers and different types of clients. We are dealing with 550 salespeople. And on top of that, we have to deal with our own internal employees as well. we have our own factory. So definitely operational issues and people related issues will be tested at the exam. We are operating within an industry which is heavily regulated. So legal issues and its resultant problems created for us will be tested at your exam. And the way in which we conduct our sales and marketing initiatives, we rely on self-employed individuals when it comes to sales. You need to have an understanding about the pros and cons of relying on these type of self-employed individuals. And I said that we are only involved with traditional marketing. So how we can move towards digital marketing initiatives will be tested at your exam. Since we are dealing with a lot of suppliers, supply chain management will be tested. And there could be a scenario where we intend to expand to a foreign country. We are the largest player within Templand. However, with the intention of increasing our sales, we might opt to, our board members might opt to expand globally. If so, the type of risks at our disposal, how to manage these projects, how to manage different type of stakeholders, all these elements, how to manage finances, how it impacts our financial statements and our existing business model, all these elements will be tested at the exam. And based on the type of opportunities we try to exploit, how it impacts our business model will be tested at your exam. And since we have to achieve sustainability, and we have to focus our attention towards non-financial performance as well, in order to be successful within this industry, which is heavily regulated, your knowledge pertaining to integrated reporting will be tested at your exam. So if you refer to the entire set of slides, you'd understand based on how each scenario, the type of syllabus elements which can be tested at the exam. We have made sure to cover all these elements within our 6 mock exams. All right, so having said that, it brings us to the Q&A session. So I've been, blabbering for the past 1 hour and 15 minutes now. I'm pretty sure you might have questions, and if so, you can raise your concerns right now. I'm going to pause the recording. All right, folks. So thank you very much for all those questions. I hope I addressed everything. And, I'm happy to say that we achieved a 94% pass rate in the previous sitting. And as I mentioned previously, if you stick to our study plan and attempt the 6 mock exams on a weekly basis, although the pass mark is 80, you stand a chance to achieve more than 100 marks. That's exactly what Hannah achieved in the previous sitting. She gained 108 marks when the pass mark was just 80. And this was a student coming through the FLP route, exemption route. This was first sitting itself. When she was doing her mock exams, I identified the fact that she had knowledge gaps, but by the time she was done with all 6 mock exams, she was conversant with how to develop answers considering all syllabus areas. That's why she gained 108 marks. So you can achieve a similar feat if you stick to our study plan and attempt a mock exam per week. If you want to contact us, you can do it via our website, which is www.study@tcs.com. Go to our website and click on the contact button and drop us a message. Our admin staff will get in touch with you via email. If you want to email us, you can do so via info@study@tcs.com or WhatsApp us on this number. And I invite you guys to follow us on our social media handles, especially YouTube and TikTok, because the recorded versions of the webinars and workshops will be uploaded to our YouTube handle. And on top of that, via TikTok, we have developed a set of videos, which is essentially a good mind map of the entire Preseen. So if you keep watching these TikToks over and over again on a daily basis until your exam, you need not do anything else to remember what appears within your Preseen document. And on top of that, I urge you guys to visit our blog and read this blog post, which is based on your Preseen, MCS Preseen. It will help you gain a good understanding about the most important elements covered within our Preseen document. So make use of all these free resources which we offer for your benefit. Having said that, it brings us to the end of tonight's webinar. I hope you gained something out of this, and I urge you guys to attend the third webinar for sure, because then you'd understand how to structure answers and what you need to do to manage your time. And at the same webinar, I will take you through one of the mock exam questions, thereby highlighting how to implement answering and time management techniques in a successful manner. And once the third webinar is done, you have the opportunity of attempting our free mock exam via the exam platform under exam conditions, which gives you the opportunity to practice the answering and time management techniques which you'd learn at the next week's webinar. So I hope you'd get in touch with us on a weekly basis via these webinars and workshops. So thank you very much for joining. I hope to see you guys next Saturday. Thank you very much. Take care and good night.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. See you.